Good afternoon. In this video, we're going over this past week's trades and a weekly recap. Before I get into the video, if you're not in the room, you can find the link in the description of the video and in my bio section on social media accounts. Also, please subscribe to the channel and like the video if you haven't done so already. Now, I did finish the week with 19 wins, 8 losses for a win rate of 70.37%, which is very bad for my standards. Probably one of the worst weeks I've had all year, if not maybe the worst ever. I think I've actually had one below 70%, but anyways, 85% is my target goal. Even though lately I've taken more losses on the first 2 days of this past week than I have the last 3 weeks, so it's just kind of discouraging that I took a lot of losses Monday and Tuesday. So yeah, it was just a tough week. Then I was able to recover, kind of gain some traction Wednesday, and had stronger, better days Thursday and Friday. So yeah, 85% is what I like to target weekly, and to be honest, finishing the week over 70% is actually kind of surprising, because at one point, I think Tuesday, end of day Tuesday, I think I was struggling to even be over 50% at that particular time, which is very, very rare. I just was, I don't know, I just didn't have it for some reason. Just was getting faked out a lot, just making bad decisions. And so it is what it is. It's part of trading. I mean, not every single week is going to be perfect. I mean, every trader has a bad week, a bad day. So the fact that I have gone this long without having a bad week, I think that I looked back, and the last bad week I had was back in February. So that is almost 5 months. So pretty good. So, I had kind of had a strange feeling that I had 3 solid weeks that I was due to have a bad week eventually. I'm kind of glad it happened now and not next week, because next week we get a lot of big earnings reports and FOMC. So I'd rather just get the bad week out of the way. So anyways, trade at Israel on Monday. SPY puts under 387.50 and Amazon calls over 115.50. Now, let's see, 18th right here, blow this up. Let's see, SPY puts into 387.50, which is right here. I kind of rounded down a little bit. Now, we had this ridiculous run from Friday, which was what, from, let's see what Friday was, right here. Yeah, the 14th, the 15th, 18th, yeah. We had a run from about Thursday and Friday. We went from 371 to 400. We went up 30 points in 48 hours. It's just ridiculous. And I was thinking, okay, we're gonna end up dropping. And my first trade was what, SPY puts at. Oh, I took calls. Why did I take calls? Oh, I know why. I think that I was going after the, yeah, this is why I took calls. Eventually, at first, I was going to take puts right here. I didn't break the level 387.50. It came down to it. Now, what SPY has been doing a lot lately, it's been doing like double fake outs in the morning. Didn't quite do one there, but no. Well, what it's been doing lately is it will do a double fake out. It will look like it's going one direction, then the next 2-minute candle will go the opposite direction, get people in, then it will rip the other way. Kind of like right here, it started to drop, then it ripped the other way, and this is what it's been doing. And it didn't quite get underneath the 387.50 level, so I didn't take it. But I did take the calls right here at 9:45, right when it did come back up. And the reason I did take that is because there is a gap fill on the daily. Let's see. Is this the candle right here? Yeah, this is the candle right here. As you can see, this is the trend line that I drew. We're getting close to the gap fill. We got over the 389 area that we were probably gonna make a run for the gap fill up here right around 395. I keep forgetting that this is the gap fills are different on this than stock charts. Stock charts was down here more, but either way, but that's what I was looking for. I was looking for the break of this trend line and to get some momentum going to try to fill this gap up here, but it didn't. It was pretty overextended, but that's what I was looking at. So I grabbed the SPX 3920 calls at 520. I mean at 945 right here, and like I said, I paid 520 for it, and then hit the trend line and it quickly rejected. So then at 10:05 I switched sides really quickly. I grabbed the SPX 3870 puts at 520, and they went from 520 to $7 in that little drop right there. So I got them right at the 10:06. So was in this candle. I got them right underneath the body of these right here to see, because it went up and it went and did a fake out right here, and it came back down quickly. I jumped and switched sides right away, so I was able to get a nice $1.80 move out of that right here. Then it started the chop. Then I grabbed calls at 148. 148. I don't know why I did not grab this right here. I don't know why I didn't grab that. I should have grabbed this right here. For some reason I did not. I don't know why. I think that maybe I just the chop right here was just chopping too much, and I probably just said, okay, I'll come back, check back end of day, and I probably wasn't paying attention, and then it just started to drop. I do remember it dropping and started looking at calls right around here. Now I was not thinking that we were going to get a massive drop. I don't even remember if this was even a news event or anything that that caused that drop. I don't really remember, but as you can see, the hourly right here, this trend line has been holding pretty well, and this is pre-market, then open and dump. But yeah, I should have grabbed it right here. I did put in a lower high. I don't really remember why I didn't grab it, except for probably I thought it was going to chop and stay in a range. When SPY does that, buying calls at the bottom of the range is so risky, and shorting at the top of the range is just even risky, and I don't really like doing that. So I probably thought this was a range day and didn't think it was going to break, it was going to hold, then it just flushes. I didn't want to chase it, so I tried to play calls. I tried to catch the bottom at 148. I played calls, which is right 148 right here. Let's see, why did I grab it right there? Oh, support from Friday right in here. See this area right here? So I grabbed the 3870 calls at 750, and they went from 750 to $8 right in that little play right there, right here, right. Probably bought it right down. Yeah, I bought it closer to down here. I got that little bit of a bounce. Then I took calls again at 156, which was no, 148. I'm probably gonna have to go down to the 1 minute to actually see exactly where I got it, because it's let's see. This is the 18th, yeah. 148. Yeah, right here. Okay, this is where I grabbed it right here, and then you can see that small bounce right there. Yeah, 148. And the next one I got was at 156, which was right here. I got the 3870 calls again. I got them right here, and they started to go down. Then I actually averaged down. I added more at 205, which is right here. So yeah, I bought it here. I added more here, making my average 405 from the same 3870 calls. And they went from let's see, 405 to $5 in that little move right there. Not much of a move. I don't like looking in the 1 minute. The 1 minute's too messy. But I just did that so you guys could see where I actually got. I kept trying to grab the bottom, just thinking that we were going to actually hold. Let's see. I probably shouldn't have done that. I mean, it hit the trend line. And SPY's just been having these days where it just does not go straight down or straight up, as you can see right here, straight down, straight up. There hasn't been really no EMA test, so I was looking for when it dumps down to come back up and test the 20 EMA, because I do that a lot, but it just hasn't happened. It's just been going straight down, and I wasn't comfortable, you know, after moves like this, buying puts down here. I mean, even though that would have been the play, or buying puts right here, it just seemed like that it's such a massive move that I didn't want to continue buying puts. But they would have paid off, but I kept trying to grab the bottom, and I can see where I grabbed it right here. That was a good little play. The next one I grabbed was my second loss of the day was 237, which was right here. So what I was doing was I bought calls here, sold into the pop, bought calls here, sold into the pop. Then when it dropped again, so what I was looking at was like one of those U-shaped moves that was luring calls in, it'd stop them out, luring calls in, stop them out. So I thought, okay, for this time I was going to buy the calls, because I bought them again at 237, which was right in this candle right here, right when it, and then when it dropped even more down here at 245, it added more. So I bought the 38.55 calls at 785 and added more at 440, making my average 525. Then I added more again at 255, which was right here, and ended up taking a loss on that. I probably shouldn't have done that. I kept thinking I was going to grab the bottom, and I didn't. So I don't know, I shouldn't have done that. Then I ended up grabbing calls end of day, and I grabbed a 336, which was right here, right down and down. Let's see why I grabbed it right there. It looks like I grabbed it from the previous day's lows, as you can see right here, the 380 level, 381. That's where I grabbed the 38.25 calls at 825. I grabbed them at 336. Grabbed them right here. And then I added more at 240, 265. Wow, that's quite, from 825, and I added more at 265. And yeah, I added more at 265, making my new average 405. Just making sure everything's recording properly. Added more at 265, making my new average 405. Then it had this end of the day rip right here that, if I remember correctly, I remember that the calls, I think, were even below $1 at that particular time. I can't quite remember. And then we had this end of the day push, and it just, this thing just went nuts. The 38.25 calls, which my average was 405, went to $8.50. So it went 100% at that move right there. So glad I averaged down and paid off. I just was not happy with my day, the way I was trading on Monday. I don't know, maybe I was just having a little FOMO. Maybe I was just getting a little impatient. I kept trying to buy the bottom, thinking I was going to catch the lower day, and I just was able to scalp a couple here, but I got burned on a couple. Didn't test the 20 EMA at all. Like I said, it's been straight down. Then we have Tuesday, where it went straight up. So I wasn't very happy with my Monday. I kind of fell off a little bit. So then on Tuesday was the day that I was really getting frustrated. I'm gonna have to unlink this and switch to the 10-minute on this, because I was basically basing most of my trades off from the VIX on Tuesday, which is right here. Now putting this up so we can show you. I can show you what I was thinking. Now, trade ideas room on Tuesday. BA calls over 151 and puts under SPY puts under 385.50. 385.50, which rate was 385.50 when I post that. I think because it was up here and I used this low right here. Yeah, I used this low right here. Normally I would have used this one, but it being up here at 386.50ish, and down here is the low of 384. That's a $2.50 move. SPY does drop to that. It's likely to bounce because that's where the 200 EMA is too, which is where the purple line is. So it did pop up a little bit. Now what I've been doing lately is that I wait for the first 10-minute candle to form, and if the first 10-minute candle forms, and if it's green, or actually I'll look at both sides of the candle depending on where it goes, but at this point in time I was looking for a put play. So when it made the green candle, I got in on the new lower day, which I grabbed the SPX 3850 puts at 680, and then went from 680 to 770 in that little drop right there. Not quite a dollar, but almost. Then I kept grabbing puts. I did the opposite of what I was doing Monday. I was kept on the drop. I kept trying to catch the bottom, and on Tuesday I kept trying to catch the top. And I shouldn't have done that. I just kept thinking that we were going to get resistance here, resistance there. Now I caught, let's see, I took SPX 3860 puts at 10.06, which is right here in this candle right here. And I was using this level, this 387 level. It came up, rejected a little bit. Came back down, then it came back up, and then we had this nice little candle right here. Now this is where, because it reacted to this level right here, as you can see the yellow dashed line came down, this is where I grabbed puts. Then you have this next candle where it popped up and it made a nice little tail candle, and I thought for sure this was going to be the top, so I added more at 540, making my new average 605. And let's see, 10.06. Yeah, I added more in this candle. Then I added more at 10.31, which was right here. No, right here. Which was, I can see why I grabbed it there. This is the pivot from before it broke down right here at the 388 level. That's where I ended up adding. So yeah, I bought here, I added here. Then we had this monster candle. Then it came up into the previous day's pivot, the 388 level, and that's where I did add even more at 335. So yeah, I started out with 730 right here, added more at 540, making my average 605. Then I added a bunch more at 335, making my average 385. Then it ripped more. So, and then I ended up taking puts again at 10.51, but instead of adding more, because I had the 3860 puts, I added more. I took them at the 3900 puts at 10.51, which is right 10.51, which is this trend line right here, this trend line. So this, I get why, I get why I took it at these levels. I mean, right here, you get the fake out, right here. I'm talking about this level right here. I get this why I took it here. Then we had this rip. Then I get why I took it here, the 388 right here, this pivot level. I get why I took it there. Then we have this right here at the trend line. So instead of averaging down, I decided to get closer at the money. I think I was actually in the money or at the money when I took the 3900 puts right here at $11. It didn't really struggle at this trend line. It just kept going. Now at the point in time, SPY and a SPY VIX, which is, what is this time? 11 to 10? No, yeah, 10 to 11. Okay, get SPY right, VIX over here on the left, 10 o'clock right here. This is a 10 to 11 right here. SPY is raging and VIX is not dropping. So, VIX has been just holding this level, this 24, 30-ish level, not been dropping whatsoever. And it starts to show a little bit of life, and it just does not get out of this little range. So I was thinking, okay, because SPY is raging and VIX is not dropping, that we're getting toppy, we're getting to near a top. So that's why, you know, I was confident that these levels were going to actually dump, but they just weren't doing it. VIX was just acting really, really weird. It was not dropping when SPY was raging, because when SPY rages, VIX usually dumps, and when VIX doesn't usually dump when SPY is raging, that means that there's a reversal coming. 90% of the time. This is just that one time it didn't. So right here, trend line, I thought for sure, going from 383 to 389, we were going to get a nice rejection right here. So that's why I bought the 3,900 puts. VIX is not making lower day. To me, this seemed like a solid play at the time. I mean, all the plays, why I took them, I get the reasoning behind it, but this one right here, definitely get it. More so, this I was more, what do you want to call it, sure that this was going to be a good play because of the trend line and because of VIX acting the way it was, and it popped through it. So at 12.53, which is right here, no, 12.53. No, I didn't even average down right in here, because I actually thought, because it broke through, because SPY likes to overshoot sometimes. So what it'll do is, instead of going to a perfect rejection, it will overshoot, lure people in, then they'll come do a fake out and flush them out. But it didn't. It chopped. Then you get the RCT trend line right here, which it was reacting to, but it just stayed there. In fact, it went above the trend line. It started using the trend line instead of as resistance, which it didn't resist at all. It acted as support, which was crazy. Then it popped again, and at 12.53 is where I added right in here. And yeah, I added more at 490, and I bought them at 11, making my new average 625. Thought, okay, it was gonna dump, and it didn't dump. It just kept going and going and going, and this was a major trend line. And it was not rejecting. In fact, it was using it as support, and VIX is going up. So what time was this? 12:10. 12:10. Yeah, VIX is going up as this is going up right here. So okay, I was like, okay, the dump is gonna come. So that's why I was not too afraid to add more, because of the VIX. The VIX was going up. So when VIX and SPY run together, going up together, that is usually a sign that a big dump is coming on the way. And it just didn't. And so it pulled, VIX pulled back, which was, what's the time frame on this? 11:30, 1:30, I mean, which is right here. It started to drop a little bit. Right here, it started to base and pop. 2 o'clock, which was right at this candle right here. So it's starting to go up here as it's starting to drop. So I was thinking, okay, we're gonna finally get the move right here. So I ended up buying puts at 159, which was right here, right up here, right when I saw this. VIX had this couple red candles right here. Started to this is the area I broke out of right here. Came back, retested it, and thought for sure I was going to get a good play. I got the 39.25 puts at 8:30, and I don't know why I did not sell. I got a 149. Oh, I got it down here. I didn't get it up here. I got it right here. Got it in this candle right here. Why did I grab it there? Okay, 391. Let's just say that's the 391 50 area. Let's look at the 1 hour. I want to keep VIX up. 350, 391, 50-ish area, which is right here. Oh, you can see right here. You can see the hourly right here. Got resistance right in here, right around the 391 area. This is where I grabbed it right here. Yeah, right there. See it right there. I get the wick right there. So this is why I grabbed it right there. So that makes sense. Get back to the day. I was on the 19th, right there. So I grabbed it right there, thinking we were going to get that resistance. So we have had hardly any resistance at all. I mean, we got to this major trend line, didn't even act to it. In fact, it went over it and used it as support. Ignored the RCT trend line, kind of chopped around a little bit, and it just didn't do anything. Then we get this other level, 391. Didn't do anything, just popped up over it. This thing just did not react to any resistance whatsoever. It was acting very very weird. It did not come back and retest the 20 at all, not once. VIX was staying in a channel. VIX should have been around $22 or lower based on this, and it just did not. It just did. I'm getting just annoyed just looking at this, because this was a really stupid day. In fact, I think this was the day that a bunch of bad news was coming in left and right, and it was ignoring everything. SPY does that once in a while. It will have a bunch of bad news that should move the market, news that should have a negative impact, and the market should drop. But sometimes news just doesn't care, and SPY just keeps going. And then once in a while, you'll get a news or a headline that does move the market, makes it drop, and it was just really trivial news, and yet it's had major news that it didn't even react to. It's done that before quite a bit in the past, that it will have a lot of bad news that should move the market and doesn't. Then when it does move the market, and there is something that moves the market red, that it ends up being something really fluffy, and the market shouldn't have even moved for it, and it does. It's just a weird day. So anyways, yeah, VIX played a huge role with me grabbing at these particular levels. I get why I grabbed all the levels. I just don't. VIX kind of like tricked me in, and yeah. So I kind of was not looking forward to trading the next day. I just was not doing that well whatsoever. So. Back on the hourly on the SPY. Now on Wednesday, I started to do a little better, but not quite. Let's see. On 20th, SPY calls over 393.50, and Amazon calls over 119. Okay, now I was looking at the SPY calls. Let me get the right day here. Yeah. SPY calls over 393.50, which is right here, this lower high right there. I kind of rounded up a little bit, so I like the 50-cent levels or the dollar levels. It makes it easier to remember. I did play, let's see, at opening. At open, I played SPY puts at 958, which is right here. I took it down here. I took it right down. Oh yeah, I got it down here because I was expecting a lower day to break. Yeah, that's why I grabbed it. I grabbed the SPX 3900 puts at $6.30 at 958 because it did not break that level. It came back down. I see why I grabbed it here. This was a huge fake out. I thought for sure it was going to break this 391 level, and we were going to dump back down to at least the trend line down here, the 388, 389, 388 level. It didn't. It turned around and ripped. As soon as it turned around and ripped, I grabbed calls. I grabbed the SPX 3950 calls at 1023. So I got faked out right here. That was a huge fake out. I mean, I would have taken that regardless if I was doing good or not. So I did turn it right when it came back around and broke over this 393 level. I grabbed calls right away. I grabbed the 3950 calls at 820, and they went from 820 to 26. Now I grabbed more calls again at 1153, which is right here. I'm not quite sure why I grabbed it here. 1153. Okay, let me see why I grabbed it right there. What day was this? The 20th? Oh yeah, I was going for a gap fill. That's why I grabbed it right there. And when it pulled back and it came back up and it got over these candles right here. See, I grabbed it what, 1023? No, not 1023, 1053, 1153, sorry. Which was this candle right here. No, I grabbed it up here. Yeah, I grabbed it right before the break of higher day. I grabbed that 39.80 calls at 620, and they went from 620 to 790. I grabbed them here because of the gap fill on the daily, because right here is the candle. Wednesday's candle, no, right here. Right at higher day is right where gap resistance is, the 396 level. Popped up. Of course, this was a fake out, but I got it at 620, went to 790. I took some. At this point, because of the losses I was taking, I had them not doing very well. I just going back to take my dollar and run. Glad I did, because that would have been that probably would have been a loss if I actually waited for a bigger move. But I was so certain at this point that we were going to go for a gap fill. I mean, when you keep getting this close to gap resistance and it's not going to fill, because I actually thought it was going to fill the gap back here, and when it got back up to this level, I thought, okay, we were going to fill the gap, and it didn't. It got shut down, and I thought, okay, maybe we're going to make another run, because to me it kind of felt foolish that they'd push it this far and not go for a gap fill. So they didn't. It got denied twice right here. It got denied again right here, and I was like, okay, I guess this gap resistance is pretty solid, and they're not going to take it. But I mean, I knew they'd do it eventually. Did they even fill it completely? No, they didn't. That's right. The gap fill is 401 something, and stock charts was like under 400. It was weird. But anyways, yeah, I thought for sure it was going to go for a gap fill. It was a fake out. Took my money and ran because of my losses. Then I took puts at 1244, which was this candle right here. I chased it. Now, this was a news candle. 1244. Let's see where I actually grabbed it on the 1 minute. 1244. Let's see. This is the drop right here. 1244. Right here is where I grabbed it. No, right here. Right there. I chased it. There was a news event. Something. I don't remember what it was. I think it was Google's hiring freeze. Yeah, because when Apple had last week, it said that it was going to stop hiring or slow down its hiring. The market tanked, and Google had announced it was going to do a hiring freeze. So as soon as I heard the news come over the scanner, that's why you need to be on voice and listen to the scanner. As soon as I heard that, I jumped in puts immediately. I didn't care how much it was. I just jumped in, and I didn't care. I chased it. So I grabbed the I'm trying to figure out why I said I had the puts at $8.20. Actually, wait a minute. I gotta look at the thing again. I think I just screwed up somewhere. I posted on Twitter. Let me see. Yeah, I got it at 680, not 820. What I did a typo. Oh, it doesn't matter. Whatever. I bought it at 680. Yeah, okay. I bought it at 680, and they went from 680 to 1950, and that drop right there because of Google's news. That was I didn't care at that point. As soon as I heard the news drop, I jumped in. So that was a nice play on the Google news. I'm glad it didn't. It had a nice, actually retested the 20 EMA. Actually, I gotta look at the 10 minute, not the 1 minute. Where is it? Right here. I know I'm rambling a lot. Yeah, I came back up, retested the 20 EMA, and then dropped more. So yeah, I got that at. Let's see. I got calls. The last play of the day, calls. I was doing so well. That day. I even thought that after the Google play that I was going to call it a day, but I decided to take the chance, and I thought for sure we were going to get a push end of the day because I got calls at 326, which is right here in this green candle. Come back up to near higher day. And remember, this is above 396. It's going for a gap fill. So we drop from the Google News. Then the market goes back up, recovers like nothing happened, like it always does. Drops a little bit, comes back up. So I said, okay, we're going to get an end of the day push about 396 for a gap fill. I thought for sure it was going to happen. I mean, I was very, very sure this was going to happen. And I even averaged down at 943, which is this candle right here. I averaged down thinking we were going to get that last 10-minute push, and we didn't. It just didn't work out. So, but yeah, usually when SPY is chopping around high a day, at the end of the day, we usually get a ridiculous end of the day squeeze and push, and it didn't. It dropped. I was just very, very surprised. Another day. This should have been the day that we did a gap fill, but I think that the market makers saw everybody was doing that, and they just decided to screw everybody over, because that's what market makers love to do. They're just a bunch of slime bags. Yeah, that was another loss. So I started to do better. I should have just called it quits after Google, but it is what it is. I'm not gonna. Then Thursday I did a lot better. Thursday, let's see. What did they say? Thursday, Sky puts under 393.50. Roku puts under 95. I probably should have gone with Roku. I think Roku ended up dumping. I'll have to see if Roku dumped. Roku dump on that day? No, it didn't. Okay. Or was it the next day? I knew Roku took a dump. It was the next day. So, 393.50, which is this level right here. As you can see, the wick right here, pre-market low right here, rounded it, make it a nice round number, 393.50. Waited the first 10-minute candle out. Then it came back up. As soon as it got over this level, I grabbed calls. So I grabbed SPX calls at 953. Blow it up a little more, because this was the first 10-minute candle. I waited it out, and as soon as it got over the higher day, that's why I grabbed calls. I didn't grab it on this candle. I waited for the second candle. I grabbed it in this candle right here. So I grabbed the 39.75 calls at 8.10, and they went from 8.10 to 11.40. So that was a nice little play right there. Then I switched to puts at 10.05, which is down here. As you can see, it popped up. You had a nasty red candle right here. As soon as it got below this 394-ish level is where I grabbed it. Grabbed the 39.30 puts at 770, and they went from 770 to 1280. Then I ended up grabbing, I played them a couple times. Let's see, I grabbed them a few times. Let's see, 10.05, got that. Then I grabbed them again at 10.21, which is right in this candle right here. So I grabbed them again at $7.90, the same ones, the 39.30 puts at 7.90, and they went from 7.90 to 15.80. So that was a nice little play. Then I ended up grabbing them again at because when it dropped here, it had a massive drop. Then it popped back up, went to VWAP. Then when it came back down, this is where I grabbed it again for that. Then I grabbed them again at 10.45, which is right at the VWAP rejection. Got a little bit of a play. Got them at 7.60 this time, the same puts. And they went from 7.60 to 9.10. So, yeah, got that nice little play there. So we got this. Then it popped back up. We grabbed it again. Then when it popped back up to VWAP, grabbed it again. Then it actually did break out over here. So I almost thought about grabbing it again right here, but I didn't. I grabbed it up here at higher day. I grabbed him 39.50 puts this time at 11.80 at 11 o'clock, which is right here. And I don't know why I did not sell it right here. I think I was waiting for a bigger move. Not unless I bought it closer to down here, but I think I bought it up here. Let's see, look down in the 1 minute and see where I actually took it. What was the date? The 21st. Okay, it was let's see, 11 o'clock. It's 11:04. I bought it right here, right there. So I didn't get quite near a higher day. I got it right here, right there. So okay, must have got it a little early, because sometimes I will get it a little early because SPY will not always test the area to the penny or exactly. It will either come up short or overshoot it. So sometimes when it gets close to a level or a moving average, I will grab it a little bit ahead of time just in case it comes up short. It does do that sometimes. So yeah, I kind of grabbed it too early and it popped up. I mean, then it popped more. So when it did break over higher day right here, I did grab more. I added more at 11:37 a.m., which is right here. So when it did actually breach higher day, right here of the 395.70-ish area, I did add more at 470, make my new average at 540. And I was able to get out on that little drop. I don't think I got out much. I mean, yeah, I went from 540 to 650, so I was able to get out $1 plus. So I remember I took it. As soon as I went green, I took it. Then we had this another ridiculous push up to pre-market lows. Next one I grabbed was 1158. Oh, 1158. I grabbed it right here. Okay, I didn't grab it here. I grabbed calls, the last of it. Okay. Just thinking. Yeah, because this is previous day's high. Oh yeah, I was also thinking, yep, gap fill. Yeah, that's what I was thinking at this point, gap fill. Because you get the 396 it was rejecting right here. And this is why I bought it right. I added to my puts right here because of this area. Plus we also had a huge run from 391 to 396. It's like a 390, yeah, 396. That's almost like a $5 run. So we just needed to cool off a little bit, I thought, and so that's why I added, and right at this resistance from previous days, resistance and pre-market resistance. So I thought for sure that we'd get a little. I was able to get out green there, so I was happy about that. But when it came up and actually broke over this level, I was thinking, okay, I'll grab calls for the gap fill. Grabbed the SPX 39.75 calls at 760, and they went from 760 to 1340. Then a pullback, and I think I just at this point in time I had 6 wins underneath my belt. I called it a day. I didn't want to take any more chances. I probably would have bought puts right here because of this little chop, and it just broke the area right here underneath 397. I didn't even think I even said something in the room that let's see, what's this right here? Puts under 396.50, which is right here. Yeah, I did call the room. I did call this drop. I didn't play it though. So yeah, I just 6 wins after what the kind of days I was having, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I was happy just to have a flawless day, and I just called it it. Got lucky on this one. So yeah. Anyways, back onto what, Friday? Let me get out of this. 21st was, yeah, Thursday. Friday, the last day. Now I held Tesla puts overnight. Now, what I was looking at, Tesla had a lot of, why did I type 800? 800 puts is what I had. Tesla had this massive run right here. So I was looking for, this up to puts at 800. Is this the right day? So yeah, I bought it at what time? 12:56, which was right here, right around the. Yeah, cause there was something at the 820 level. I think there was a 50-day moving average. No, it was 200. There was a 200 EMA on the daily, and that's why I took it. Plus, we had earnings. Even though earnings was kind of mixed, there was other bad news that was coming out about accounting fraud, and another executive was blowing the whistle about something. I don't remember what it was, but yeah, Tesla had bad news right here, so I grabbed puts. I just held on to them. I know it popped here, and it's okay. I'm gonna swing overnight, thinking we're gonna have a good play. And I mean, look at the earnings. I mean, it popped, and it came back flat, then it started to rise and it popped, and then I was basically, the only reason I bought puts, the only reason was because of the 200 EMA on the daily, and let's see if this will. Yeah, you can see it right here. 200 EMA right there. It's the only reason I bought it. And every time it gets to an EMA on the daily, it has a harsh rejection the next day. And this is what I was looking at. See, it tested the 20 EMA, the blue line, and it had a massive red rejection right here. So I thought for sure we are going to get that. And that's why I swung it overnight. I knew it was risky. I didn't really care. I mean, I thought for sure it was going to end up dropping. It was going to end up being a good play. Then we had all the Snap earnings, and tech was getting pounded. So it was dropping after hours, and SPY dropped quite a bit. And then SPY opened up flat, and of course this gaps up, and SPY dumps the next day, and this didn't really react. So this will probably end up dropping to 800 or lower on Monday. Tesla always does this. I don't know why. But whenever it has a huge run up, it does not have massive dumps on Fridays for some reason. It waits till Monday when premiums are really, really, really high. And you're going to end up paying $15, $20 per contract if you want to get somewhat near the money. Tesla just is really infamous for doing that. But I thought for sure we were going to reject the 200 EMA. Then we had all the bad earnings. I thought for sure this was going to be a big, massive play, and it just wasn't, because it just gapped up, just acted stupid, and there was my only loss for Friday, but whatever. Then let's see, I took let's see what I see in the trading ideas room. SPY puts under 397.50. SPY puts under 397.50, which is right just low right in here. This is down too far, because at this point in time SPY's up here at 398.50. I thought, this low right here would be a good little low to grab it, and I grabbed puts at 945, waited for the first 10-minute candle to form. It formed green, then it came back below the let's see, what time I grabbed? 945. Yeah, I grabbed it in this candle right here. I think I grabbed it right 945. Let's bring it down to the 1 minute. I want to see exactly where I grabbed it. First 10-minute candle, 945 right here. This is where I grabbed it right there. Cut the 39.80 puts at 690, and they went from 690 to 820, and that drop right there. Then I ended up, let's see, reloading again at 953. Okay. And because it popped back up to higher day, came back down, got below the PDC again. I grabbed the 39.80 puts again at 680 this time, and they went from 680 to 1230, and that dropped. So it was rejecting the 400 level at this point in time. This is where I was thinking that the gap fill has filled from stock charts. I don't think I've ever seen stock charts and think it's from our E-Trade be off with a gap fill. Daily candles are always usually the same. I've never seen it where they're not. So I was looking at stock charts and going by stock charts numbers. So I was like, okay, I filled the gap. It's over. Then it was pointing out the room that Toss and E-Trade's daily candle was different. So, but when it popped up, did a fake out, 400, huge level. So yeah, when it rejected 400 and came back down on the PDC, that's where I grabbed it again at 680, and they went from 680 to 1230. So, and then I grabbed puts again at 1026, which was right here. Came to PDC, rejected, and grabbed the rejection candle. PDC is the white line, previous day's close, and VWAP was right there. Whenever you get these things clustered together, whenever you have PDC and VWAP together, or you have the 20 EMA and VWAP together, or any two indicators that are together, end up acting as very strong resistance. So when it rejected the PDC and came back under VWAP, that's where I ended up grabbing it again. So I got the 39.80 puts again for the third time at 760, and they went from 760 to 920, and that little drop right there. Then I grabbed calls at 1042, and at this particular time, this is where I knew that the gap fill was 401 on Toss and other people's other brokers platforms. And so, okay, when it rejected PDC, came back up quickly, and I even said that if it gets over this 399 level, I was taking it. I grabbed SPX 4910 calls at 730, and it broke out again, thinking, okay, maybe it's going to gap fill and go up to 400 again to higher day and actually go to the 401 and actually fill the gap. But it was a fake out, and I took it, like I said, because of the losses all week. I'm just taking whatever it gives me. Got in at 730, and I went to 870, so it goes $1 plus. I'm getting out, taking my money. Then I switched to puts at 1106, which is right here. Came back up, rejected PDC, hit a fake out breakout, came back down. This is where I grabbed it, and I grabbed the 3980 puts again. So that's the fourth time. I grabbed them at 780, and then went from 780 to $20 in that drop. So that was a huge drop, and there was really nothing behind the drop. There was no news except that Biden was getting better from his COVID. So yeah, this is where it was weird, because Biden gets COVID back here. I think it was this day, and the market just ripped. Because usually, because I remember posting on Twitter that when Trump got COVID, the market dumped $15, and when Biden gets it, it rages. So then when Biden said that the news comes out that Biden's feeling better, it drops. I kind of thought that was kind of funny. I don't know if the market was telling us that they don't like Biden, doesn't like Biden. I don't know. It was kind of humorous at that point. But yeah, we got it right here, and the market dumped. So that was a nice 100% move on that too. So the week, kind of, I get a lot of the losses I took. I mean, the market was just acting very, very crazy. I get why I took where I did in some of the moves, and it's just one of those weeks. You just gotta, kind of just get past it and just deal with it, lick your wounds, go for the next week. Now, next week, FOMC earnings, it's going to be a volatile week, and hopefully we'll have a strong week and recover from this crappy week. So that's going to do it for the recap. I'm sorry if I rambled a lot. Just a very disappointing week. But anyways, hope you enjoyed the video and understood the mistakes and what I did wrong and what I shouldn't have done or whatever. So that's going to do it. Thanks for watching.